Social media is an incredibly powerful tool that most business owners use entirely wrong. It's this hammer, but most of you are holding it by the head and pounding nails with the handle. And my goal in this little mini course is to flip that around so you can hold the hammer the right way, and you're probably doing the right things with it. We just need to change the way you think about it, change the way you see this, and show you a better way. So this course really is for entrepreneurs, small business owners, anybody who wants to drive revenue on social media, especially for those of you who don't have a big following. Contrary to popular belief, follower accounts do not equal sales. And I have had and worked with accounts that have many, many followers that get less sales than accounts that have very few followers. I have taken accounts with just a couple of hundred followers, and we have added tens of thousands of dollars a month to their business. I have taken people who have very little to no social media experience, and I have gotten them making money right away using these methods that we are going to show you. So these ideas, we're going to hit a lot of theory. If you don't know me, this is something you should know about me. I am big on boiling things down to the atomic principles. I want to know why something that works, not just why it works. Or not just that it works. And I want you to know the same thing. But we are not hitting... Like it's highly theoretical, but we are giving it in a very actionable way. This isn't theory. This is proven. I've used this for years. I've helped dozens of clients use it. I've helped clients in dozens of different industries use it. I've helped clients on different platforms. We have a lot of opportunity here. And at the end of the day, even beyond the tactics and strategies that I'll give you, I will show you how to think about it so that even as new social media platforms pop up, this information is still going to be applicable. Social media platforms change every day. And so it's really important to learn the underlying principles so that you don't just have to start over tomorrow when Zuckerberg decides it's time to change algorithms, or Musk decides to buy another social media company. Who knows? So one of the most important things to understand here before I dive in is that there's a distinct difference between inbound marketing and outbound marketing. Now, I think a large percentage of the problems that most business owners experience with social media really boil down to not understanding the difference between these two things. This goes for all forms of marketing. This is not just social media, but it's going to play a big part in our discussion here. And so I wanted to hit on it first before I dive into anything else. So, inbound marketing is what we do to convert people who already know that we exist. They're coming and looking for us. We need to give them information, teach them, educate them, convince them we're the best option, and take their money. That is the role of inbound marketing. Outbound marketing, this is about catching people's attention, getting people interested in your product, getting people interested in your service, getting people to know they have a problem. Really, it's all the ways that we get people's attention, all the ways that people learn about us if they have no idea we exist and aren't searching for us. And the other piece that we have to understand to make, that's kind of foundational to this training in this little mini series I'm developing, or that you're watching, it's already developed, is the social graph versus the interest graph. Now, for many, many years, social media platforms were all about connecting us with people that we knew, or showing content to people who followed us. And in 2025, a lot of social media has shifted over to operate on what's called the interest graph. And what this really means is that these social media platforms are showing us content not based off of who we know or who we follow, but based off of what we're interested in and what, algorithmically, like, we're likely to stop and watch, and to engage and interact with. Now, I think it's interesting to note that there's like some overlap here, right? This isn't a one-to-one pair, but there's a lot of overlap between social graph platforms being really effective at inbound marketing and interest graph tools or platforms being really good at outbound marketing. And that's really how we're going to use it. Again, it's not a one-to-one pair, but for the purposes of this training, that's really how we're going to use it. For these strategies we're going to employ here, we are going to use our social graph tools as inbound marketing. This is where we're going to nurture our leads. This is where we're going to make we're going to make sure we look really attractive to people who come looking for us. Over here in the interest graph, this is where we're going to find attention. This is where we're going to get new customers, new leads, all of it down here, interest graph, outbound marketing. That is where we're at. So, in short, social graph and inbound marketing, this is where we'll build trust and nurture. Outbound marketing, interest graph is where we will grow followers, gain new leads, gain attention. And you can do all of this without follower counts.